Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Tool Show with me, Master Dan, the Journeyman shooter. And today we're gonna have one of our little coffee time segments, so I figured I'd go for a nice morning walk here. It's sunrise and the city's just kind of coming up here, and it looks beautiful out, so I figured why not talk? And what better to talk about than sleep? It's the morning and I feel nice and great, and because I got a good sleep last night. And that's one thing that you should get, especially if you're working in construction trades. You got to get a good sleep. I know a lot of guys, they just like to go out and party and do all the crazy stuff, and that's all right for some people because some people can get away with that, especially if you're young. But if you're operating some kind of crazy machinery and people are around you that you could put at danger, then you've got to make sure you're smart, because it's just like driving drunk, especially if you're being kind of crazy and you'd end up running over somebody and you have some kind of alcohol still in your system. Good luck explaining that to somebody, because most companies, they don't understand that kind of stuff, and they will test you and you'll get in a lot of trouble, and it's just not worth it. So why would you do that? You just gotta be smart and kind of not be crazy. So other than that, that's kind of what I was hoping to talk about today. It's a beautiful day out today, and I just feel great because I got a good sleep. So now, what's kind of a perfect amount of sleep? Most experts say you gotta get at least your 6 hours of sleep, and I know I go for 8. That's kind of perfect for me just because I like it. 7's good for a lot of people. Some people get away with 4 or 5, but it's not a good idea, because you want to make sure you're being smart, especially when you're dealing with like some kind of force like electricity. Like, I know I've been in crazy places where if I wasn't 100% on my game, you could fall into something that would blow up and you would disintegrate, and it would be interesting because all your friends would have to learn a hard lesson of why to get a good night's sleep, but not you personally, because you wouldn't be there anymore. So that's why you got to make sure you protect yourself, and especially in the trades, protection is amazing. You got to have PPE, your safety glasses, your boots. So if you have all that stuff, why would you not think about protecting your body and your mind? Because your mind needs a little bit of rest every day. It's just like a computer. You can't let it go every single day full blast and expect it to still be able to operate 100%. You gotta take care of your stuff, and your brain's the best computer you got. It's the best tool that you've got in all your toolboxes, so why not treat it well? And I got a delicious coffee this morning for a coffee time segment, and it's I think it's like a caramel drizzle, so it's not bad. I don't know if I've actually asked this one before, but do you know why Snoop Dogg drinks this kind of coffee that I have? Faux drizzle. Nah, just kidding, because it's a caramel drizzle. No, that was a horrible joke, and I apologize before I even got that one out. I was thinking in my head, sorry guys, I shouldn't have told you that one, but yeah, you can save that one for, I don't know, some dad joke convention that you're going to. But other than that, that's kind of what I was getting at, is you got to get that good sleep. I know, especially if you're climbing ladders and you're up at the top of a ladder, there's been a few days where I didn't get the best of sleeps, and you start to just kind of nod forward. And then, if you're on top of a giant ladder, that could be extremely dangerous. I don't need to tell you that. I think anybody can understand, if you're not awake and you're on top of a ladder and you fall, then good luck waking up again after that, and you got a lot of stuff to kind of get by. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to try to find a good position here. The sun is finally rising. It looks beautiful out, and just kind of along the Bow River here up in Crescent Heights. So if you're in Calgary, this is a great place to come and check out, and I love it up here. It's a nice relaxing walk, and especially when you're nice and relaxed and you have a good sleep the night before, you feel great. And that's it. It's tough. I know a lot of the time with today's schedule too, it's almost impossible to get that sleep that you need, but that's why you got to just try. You can't just you can't give up. If you can't sleep, maybe find some kind of way online or some kind of technique, because I don't know everything about sleep. I'm just kind of a sleeper myself. I just do it as everybody else has to, not as a professional, but so that's why there are lots of sites, and I guess if you need to talk to your doctor, you could do that too, because he'd have all the different recommendations for you and all the other little things. So that's about it. There's nothing else you can do. You just got to try to get that sleep in, go to bed early, get a good rest, especially if you're in the trades and that's what you're doing and your life depends on what you're doing, and if something goes wrong, you can't blame it on the sleep. You gotta blame it on no, I'm just kidding. You can blame it on the sleep, because you can't blame yourself for everything. People make mistakes, and that's it. And sometimes you can't sleep. I know sometimes I roll around, and even when I'm working, a lot of the time, if I work a job really hard, I start dreaming about that job, and it's like you never leave the job, basically. I'll always remember I was working in the cornfields as a kid, and that was one of like my first jobs after the gun club, when I was working at a gun club, like pressing the button for the skeet shooters and trap shooters and cleaning the ranges. But one of the first jobs that I had after that was working in the cornfields, where you'd walk up and down the fields and pull out the tassels, and that was basically, you just do it so repetitively that at nighttime you dream about it. And I remember the one night I was because I was still a young kid living at home, and my mom, I'll always remember I was making some big fuss and yelling in my room, and then my mom came in, and I was holding my lamp in my hand, and I'd ripped the lampshade off thinking it was a corn tassel, and I was standing there like drenched in water because I spilt the water that I had all over my nightstand all over myself, and I'm holding this light that's broken bulb in it, and I was about to turn it on, and my mom's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "The corn's wet today, Riley," because the kid next to me was named Riley, and that was basically, it was just kind of, it was a dream that you had that kind of kept going like that, and it was something interesting. So poor Riley, he wasn't actually there. It was my mom, and she kind of freaked out and hoped that I didn't end up electrocuting myself, and luckily I didn't, which was good. But later on in life I have many times, just because that's part of my trade as the master of electricity. It's something that you got to do, and it comes with the trade, so you just got to get used to it. But you don't want to do that, so that's why you want to make sure that you have that good sleep and that you're well rested. And because especially if you go in there with that sleepy attitude and you're in a dangerous position, you could put yourself in an even worse dangerous position, or even the people around you, because that's it, they just showed up and they might have got a good sleep and they didn't deserve to have to come in and get run over by some giant crane or something. And so just make sure you're keeping your head on your shoulders, you're alert, and that's it. If you need to, take an energy drink or get a coffee, and just don't overdo it, because you don't want to hurt your heart. And that's the most important thing too, is your brain's one of the most important tools, and then your heart's up there as number 2, or even, I don't know, it probably might be number 1, I don't know, whatever I don't know, everybody's got their own kind of list of what matters the most to them. So you got to treat everything the same. You can't just hurt yourself. You got to make sure that you're respecting your body, your mind, your everything, and you're giving it your all while you're doing that. So that's all I wanted to get at today, is get your 8 hours of sleep if you can, your beauty sleep or whatever, and that's about it. So for Tool Show, I'm Master Dan, the Journeyman Shooter. Get out there, get yourself a good sleep, and then wake up and take on the world. Have a good day.